Cam Dean Heiss says, I can access HBO Max on my Android box. I haven't signed up yet, though. Yeah, it's available on Android and Apple devices, not on Roku or on Amazon devices. Captain Fonemo says, does that mean I can't watch HBO Max on my smart TV since it uses Amazon first? So does that mean it's an Amazon Fire TV? If that's the case, then that means that the app's going to come from the Amazon App Store. And so, yes, at this point, HBO Max is not available unless that has changed since I've gone live, and that, again, could always happen. And then Captain Heist does indeed confirm that he was talking about Trek. That's what I thought, just making sure. All right, so before jumping back over to YouTube, let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of HBO Max. Let's see what it's all about here. So let me pull up my news report tab. Boom, there we go. And let me just make sure that I'm still coming through. I am. Fantastic. So one of the first sections that I want to talk about is the Turner Classic Movies section, or the TCM section, because I love classic movies, and there's a lot of classic movies that I have just never seen before. And so I figured what I'll do is just go through some of these lists and just go through the things that they have featured. So obviously on this screen, 2001 Space Odyssey, freaking fantastic film. First time I saw that film was actually in the theaters on IMAX a couple years ago, and it was amazing. I've never seen The 39 Steps, never seen The 400 Blows, never seen 42nd Street. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the list, add that to the list, add that to the list. Fantastic. So you can go ahead and just add to the list and watch it back later on. There's something called 47 Ronin Part 1, Part 2. No idea that there was a 47 Ronin apart from the one featuring Keanu Reeves, so that's pretty interesting. 8.5. This is a film that I actually did see. This is a Criterion Collection film, and I was not a fan. I just was bored to tears with it, couldn't get into it. One film, though, I can add to the list is The Abyss. I've never seen that one before. And just as for Tina, The Adventures of Robin Hood right here with this Errol Flynn. Is that the right name? Let me go ahead and add that to my list as well. So yeah, you got the Aliens films, or at least the two that matter. Let's see. Apocalypse Now I've seen before. The original author, I've never seen that one. So let me go ahead and add that to the list right now. So you got Babe. I love how Babe is a part of this collection too. You got some that are like obvious classics and others that aren't. It's just amazing to me. So you got Ben-Hur on the list. Big Top Pee-wee, for all my Pee-wee fans out there. Let's see. Blood Diamond's on the list. I don't know why Blood Diamond's there. Bonnie and Clyde. Wasn't a fan of it. Again, just something about it was just so cheesy. I just couldn't get into it. Let us see. So again, I'm sure there's some on here that some of you are like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Why didn't he talk about it? Either I haven't seen it, or I just don't feel enough to talk about. Casablanca, again, one of the greatest films of all time. No question about it. Citizen Kane, most people argue, is the best film. I don't think it's the best film. Again, is it a revolutionary film that did a lot for movies? Absolutely. Overall, though, it's fine. It's a good film. Don't get me wrong. It's a good film. Alex McCarthy, there's Commando. They consider Commando to be a... This is a curated list from Turner Classic Movies, and so Commando is on that list. So it looks like you might be right about something, Alex, with some of your movie choices. The first Die Hard film, one of the few that actually matter. The Deadpool with Clint Eastwood with a Magnum. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Fantastic. Eraserhead. Y'all know I can't stand Eraserhead. It's just not very good. Orson Welles, right? I believe that's an Orson Welles film. For Fake. I've never seen that before. Fight Club, The Fighter. Let's see. Friday Night Lights, The Front Page, Gangs of New York, which is a fantastic film. Girl Crazy. Give Me Shelter. Glengarry Glen Ross. A pretty good adaptation of the play. This is something that's really cool. Look at all of these Godzilla films. Like, that's freaking amazing. There's like, what 4, 5, 6, 7 different Godzilla films. That is just amazing. I remember watching those when I was a kid, not understanding a word because I could tell that something was not quite right because it was the dubbed version, but I just couldn't figure it out at that young age. Let's see, you got Gold Diggers of 35, of 33. Never seen these before. You got some of these films, silent film era stuff. Gone with the Wind, fantastic movie. Grey Gardens, heard stuff about that. A Hard Day's Night, The Hitcher, the original, The Hobbit cartoon, freaking amazing version of The Hobbit, much better than the live-action Hobbit films, I would argue. Oh, some of these, so Akiru, isn't this one of the, Seven Samurai, Akira, Kurosawa. Isn't that one of the Kurosawa films? I think. Not sure. Ivan the Terrible Part 1 and Part 2. Jaws. King Kong, the original King Kong. I've actually never seen the original King Kong before. Klute was an interesting film I had to watch for a film class in college. But as you can see, just a crap ton of old school content. Some of it not so old school, right? You have some stuff on here you're like, man, Maltese Falcon, but then it's like Love Actually. And I like Love Actually, but I don't put those, I myself would not put those in the same category. So as I said, I'm sure that people in the chat, especially Tina, are going crazy right now saying, why didn't you talk about this? You have to add this movie. I've never seen My Left Foot. Network, not seen that one, but I've heard great things about it. I've seen clips from it, of course. Are you out of your damn minds? Of Mice and Men. Again, crap ton of content here. So again, this is just for you guys, for anyone that's interested. Here's Reds. This is the movie that Tina talked about on the last the last Chosen of Valhalla podcast. I'm going to add that. Communist in Love, I believe, was the nickname given to that movie. So maybe that's something that I'll have to watch at some point. Oh, man, oh, man. Sabotage. I think, isn't this a Hitchcock film, I think? Perhaps, maybe. Scarlet Pimpernel. I've actually never seen Scarlet Pimpernel, any of the versions that were mentioned here. Singing in the Rain, of course, classic film that I have seen before. Stagecoach. I want to say Tina has talked about Stagecoach before, I think. They've got 3 different versions of A Star is Born, which is fantastic. They also, I believe, have the most recent version as well. This is the one that I've been wanting to see because I think this is the oldest one that they currently have on theirs. Look, you have Terror of Mechagodzilla, another Godzilla film. So there's 8 total different Godzilla movies on here. Let's see. Threepenny Opera looks like an option. The Tin Drum. Treasure of Sierra Madre. I've never seen that one before, but I do have that one already. Unbreakable. Vampire. I think this is one I think that Tina actually wanted at one point. Didn't I get that one for you, or was thinking about getting it for you at some point? I think. Man, this is taking me back. This is taking me back. Xanadu, Yojimbo, I believe that's a Kurosawa film, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, crap ton of content on here, and that is just the Turner Classic Movies section. So before getting back to the chat, I will go back into so there's a Cartoon Network collection, and then there's the Adult Swim collection. So for Cartoon Network, I would say it's relatively slim. Again, a lot of Ben 10, Adventure Time, that stuff was, a little after my time. But Dexter's Laboratory, gosh, that's my jam right there. Powerpuff Girls, also my jam. There's 2 different versions, apparently. Regular show was after my time, but I have heard about it. Again, I went into that section because it was a little bit shorter. So again, not a whole lot there in the Cartoon Network section. Adult Swim, I think, has a little bit more. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, this is towards the latter time of when I was still watching it. And my name is Jack Sugar. I love the theme song to that. And Meatwad is definitely the best character on there. This is a show, Home Movies. I actually watched a couple episodes, and I forgot how weird and obscure it is. And I'm like, man, this is taking me back. Rick and Morty, I know there's people that are fans of the show. I'm personally not a huge fan of it myself. Robot Chicken's great. Samurai Jack, I watched it as a kid. I don't think I ever watched the entire series, though, so I've started episode 1 of that. And again, the animation for it is just freaking fantastic. And something that's really close to my heart is they have Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which was just such a fun show. However, Cartoon Planet, which was a variation of this show where it featured a lot more of Brak and Zorak, and Brak would be singing songs and everything, they don't have that one yet. So as you can see, the Cartoon Network selection is rather slim. So someone had mentioned earlier that they hope that they kind of expand upon it. I'm really hoping that they expand upon it as well, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and dive back into HBO Max a little bit. I'll show a couple more sections of the app itself. And yeah, so let's go ahead and see. We've got here, someone had asked about one of the sections. Let's go into the DC section. That's one that someone asked about. So they got a pretty decent collection here. You got Aquaman, of course. This, of course, will make Tina and Steph very, very happy. You got a lot of Batman movies. They don't have all of them yet. But that's something that they will have, I think, by the end of the year. They'll have all of the Batman movies from, I want to say, the 1980s on. They still have, they already have earlier ones. So they've got original Batman. They also got a lot of the animated stuff here. So Batman Beyond, Return of Joker, Batman Gotham Knight, Batman Forever, Batman Returns, one of the greatest films of all time, Batman and Robin. I've never seen these. Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2. Killing Joke. I think I have seen Killing Joke. Of course, you've got BVS. everyone's favorite, Batman versus Robin. I think I heard good things about that one. You got Batwoman, the entire first season. Everyone wants that one, right? You've got Beware the Batman. Ooh, Halle Berry's Catwoman. What a great movie. Then you got DC Superhero Girls. Oh my gosh, yes. Doom Patrol Season 1. I liked it overall. Does it go woke at times? Yes. But overall, I enjoyed it. Green Lantern. You have that atrocity. You, of course, got Joker, one of my favorite films of last year. Jonah Hex. Oh, Jonah Hex. Justice League. In its current form, not very good, but hey, Snyder Cut will be released next year. Lego Batman movie, better than the original Lego movie, hands down. Lego Batman, the movie, DC Superheroes Unite. Never saw that before. Shazam, my favorite DCEU film by a mile. Steel with Shaq. Yeah, you got Steel with Shaquille O'Neal. Suicide Squad. You got the original Supergirl movie from a while back. Teen Titans. Teen Titans Go to the movies. Teen Titans The Judas Contract. Watchmen series. Yay. I don't know why they don't have Watchmen yet. Wonder Woman cartoon and Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot. So again, fair selection of DC stuff, but I think that they could absolutely add more. I imagine by the end of the year, once a bunch of contracts that they have, because the way that it works is that oftentimes these companies, these movie studios, make deals with networks, television networks or streaming services like Netflix, and they rent out basically their movies for a certain period of time. Once those contracts are up, those streaming rights come back to the original company. And so once those streaming rights are up at Netflix or Prime or wherever they are, that's when they'll be able to take the content back and put it onto their own streaming service. So anyway, I showed those. One thing I'm actually very, very much excited for is they have the entire Studio Ghibli collection. So if anyone's ever seen any of these films before, you know that they're always just some of the best animation, amazing stories too. Like, you would think, oh, these are kids' movies, but they're not. Like there's a lot of maturity to these stories too, and I think it's what makes it great for the entire family, if I had to argue. So yeah, tons of content when it comes to the Studio Ghibli collection. And then one more section to go into. I believe someone asked about Looney Tunes section. So let's see what they have here. They've got classic Looney Tunes, which is exciting for me. They got Baby Looney Tunes Musical Adventures. You got the Looney Tunes cartoons, the Looney Tunes show. One of these is like the newer, like there's apparently new Looney Tunes episode. And you have Sylvester and Tweety Mystery. So again, another section I think lacking a lot of stuff that they could have there. And I hope that they eventually add soon. But right now, because of rights, they really can't. And I think those are the only major sections that I wanted to dive into. Some people might be interested in Crunchyroll, so let me just go ahead and just go through that real quick. So again, I'm not much of an anime person myself, but they got a lot of content. So if anyone has any of these on here, we're like, oh, then you have to watch this. You have access to it. It's so good. They've got these options right here. So yeah, those are pretty much the main things to talk about with HBO Max. Again, I think that there's a good selection there. And I think that they can just only add more content, right? And I cannot wait to see what will eventually happen. And now a huge shout out to my May Patreon and Subscribe Star members: Albertus Magnus, Animation Commentator Brian P, Dion, Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Weeder Dog Clan, Harold Francis, the Hunker Chunker Funker Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, Kenneth Camiel, Lady T, Laura Story, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mike Jackson, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, Orange Hat Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Out of Step with Reality, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, Tina Bojan, The DJD Show, and Tina B. Thank y'all for being my Patreon members, and a shout out to my Subscribe Star peeps: John B, Perpetual Punster, Robert Revo, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, G2 Cool 99, Darkstar 57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J. Rod the Beer Guru, Nevadon G. Adams, and ZK Man. And a special shout out to David Bobrizik and Edgardo Martinez. I'm going to leave that pause there just in case anyone decides to join for the month of May, because you can indeed join on Patreon or Subscribe Star at any time this month to be eligible for any of the perks. They include access to an exclusive podcast that I do with John, the Flick Pick of John Flickinger's fame, so make sure you go ahead and check that out at the $10 and up level. Also, if you Subscribe Star or Patreon at $5 or up, you have access to exclusive giveaways of 4K movies, digital films, and a bunch of other stuff in between as well. And if anything, you could at least give just anything that you really want to help support the channel, and it would really help me out a lot. Keeps the lights on, makes me able to continue to do this kind of stuff. So anything you possibly give, check out some more information in the description of the Patreon, Subscribe Star, and of course YouTube membership links as well. You guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.